Hello and welcome to Art 17. Sorry for that delay. But we are in where the heck are we? We're in week 7 and we are in assignment 13, and there's a lot to talk about because the midterm presentation is next week. Midterm presentation is a 5-minute long PowerPoint or Google Slides, or you can make a video or something that scrolls down or changes slides, where you can provide images and text and present on an artist or an art style or an art movement or something in art history, an art technique, something about art. Could be an artist itself and himself, herself, itself, themself, whatever it is that you want to present on. It could be just an art style or an art technique like watercolor or painting. It doesn't have to be what we're doing in here. It doesn't have to be drawing and painting. It can be various things, including cake art, nail art, makeup, costumes, tattoo, anime, wood crafts, wood art, metal art, glass art, ceramics, jewelry. Could be performance art. It could be anything in the art world. But it's got to be a 5-minute presentation that you are going to send to me in an email attachment that I can scroll through and read and view the images of the artist or the art movement or the art style you're talking about, other than your own artwork. And you are to provide your own artwork that relates to this subject. One piece of art that you drew, painted, whatever it is. If you do something else out of class that is along these lines and you want to show your own work in that, then that's fine. If it's, nail work, then you're going to make up your own nails. If it's your costume or makeup, then you're going to do your own. Tattoo, I'm not expecting you to do your own tattoo, but draw or paint a design for a tattoo that you plan on getting maybe someday. Something like that. Whatever it is, you need to come up with your own artwork about it. Okay, I'll present or send a email out about it again, and I'll talk about it in the beginning of next week, but I will not be around on Monday, so the first videos I'm trying to get to you over the weekend, and it'll be discussed there as well. But that'll be due next week, sometime before the end of the week, by Sunday. Okay. So what is that? Sunday the 31st. So that's when it would be due. So I'll discuss it a little bit more. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want me to give my input on what you want to present on, that's fine too. Okay, so we're talking about number 13 is 1 and 2 point perspective. Corner of the room is the same thing, but it's inverted slightly. It's a little different. I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is a 2 point perspective cabin. That's a 2 point perspective city block. And this is a 1 point perspective city block, meaning that the 1 point is a vanishing point, one vanishing point. All the lines to the city on this block go to that vanishing point. You can put a ruler down and draw lines for the windows, the top of the building, the bottom of the building, the sidewalk, the street, the other side as well. They all go to that vanishing point. And this is how it is in reality. This is perspective, 1 point perspective. Okay? I'm going to provide some videos on this, and you look for those, and then they will outline a little more. On the 1 point, I'm not asking you to do a city or a house necessarily. What I will ask you to do is maybe some blocks like this. You can do the city block if you want to. But on the 1 point, where you have a vanishing point out here, if you are to draw cubes above the horizon and below the horizon like this, maybe 5 of them, then you draw from your cube that you drew, cube or rectangle, lines to your vanishing point. Pick where that is on a horizon line. So here's your horizon line, and let's look at this one. It's a little better. Vanishing point, horizon line. 1 cube is the cube that's facing you. The side of whatever square that is, it's facing you. Then when you draw the lines to the vanishing point, you can now draw the rest of your box, your cube. Okay, and if it's transparent, then we'll see the other side. If not, just don't draw that part, but draw the 3 sides we can see, or the 2 sides in this case. They have different perspective depending on where they are in your eye level or your eye view. But because the side of that box, these boxes are facing you directly, there's a 1 point perspective. The minute you change and turn these slightly, they turn into a 2 point perspective, and I'll show you why. So here's the 1 point perspective. You're going to draw cubes or boxes, basically, with your 1 point out here. Once you draw the lines and get your box, you can erase these lines in here that you drew for the guidelines and keep the boxes, and it'll look really super cool. The minute you change the box to the side so that a corner is facing you directly, closest to you is the corner, not the side, then it has 2 sides that are sort of going away from you. That means that you have 2 point perspective, one on each side of the horizon line. Then all the buildings, top, windows, doors, floor, and the sidewalk all go to that perspective point on that side. And then where this corner is, the closest corner to you out of this whole city block, everything else goes to that side perspective point. Top of each building, even though they're different sizes, they go to that right here, right here, right here, all the windows. Anything that's vertical, doors and window vertical, is just straight up. Same with sides of the building. They're not twisted, they're not tilted, they're just straight up. Just like the telephone poles I was talking about, and the fence posts. They're all straight up, in a horizon is out here, but those are vertical. So you can put all kind of nuance on a city block like this if you do the city block. I'll show you a house that you can do as well. There will be a video on this. Okay, let me put in house drawing. Yeah, these are, find a one that's really more adequate. I mean, they are, because that's the closest corner to you, so this side's going that way, that side's going that way. Depending on how much you have the building twisted away from you, okay? These are 1 point perspective because they're facing you and you can't see the vanishing point. It's way behind you. So they're showing both, and I don't know why I asked for 2 point perspective, and they're giving me everything in the world. But whatever, let's see. That's not one. Yeah, these aren't really showing. Let me see what Google says, because Google's may be better on this one than that. And it's taking forever. Sorry. Yeah, 2-point perspective house drawings. Okay, these are a little better. This one's a pretty good one here, but you can see that that's the closest corner to you. That means this side, the right side, is going to that perspective point. Floor, windows, all those lines, roof, way up here, the roof, are going to that side. Then because this is the closest corner, this side is all going to that perspective point. How you get the top is that you draw a line straight up the middle and come down to the edges. Of course, you want a little overhang for the rain, so you bring it a little past the edge and then over here. And this angle and this angle will meet to that perspective. This angle should be mirrored to this angle. You can actually measure the distance from that to that, or you can just drag your ruler straight across without twisting it, and it'll make that one over there. Okay, so I'm going to show a video on this. That's a good one to do. Here's like a modern building in 2-point perspective. This one too. So here's the closest corner, right? All the lines go to that point perspective. Actually, it's right there. They really shorten it up. And this one's here. I mean, you could make your perspective point off the page if you want to, and then your house won't look so squished. Just tape your paper down, put a mark way off the paper over here and over here that you can see it, get a big long ruler, and you can come way over here to your perspective point, as long as it's on a horizon line. That's really all you're looking for. And then you want to shade in your building. You want to put some trees in a path or something like that. You want to shade in the sky. You want to add things to it, is what I'm saying. You just don't want it like this. That's really boring and whoa, what happened? And that's not going to work that well. But here, they put it somewhere. They placed it somewhere. It's got a place to be. That's what I want you to do. So where's your light source? Coming from this direction on this drawing, the chimneys are lit up, or the side of the house is lit up here on this side, but this side's darker. That's because the light's coming from this side. Okay? 2-point perspective. There you go. Oh, that's probably a video on it. Oh well. Anyway, I think I'll be able to provide this particular video, and then you can put some trees around it and shade it, and maybe put even, more borders on the windows and stuff like that. Build it. But basically, that corner straight to you right here, vanishing point, also known as perspective points. Everything on this side goes over here. Windows and doors too. Top of the windows, top of the doors, top of the bottom of the windows, bottom of the doors. You make a line and then you draw where your door is going to go. Anything vertical is just vertical. Same with this side. This is going to go to that perspective point over there. Okay, so look for the videos on that, and I'm providing those. I'm going to let's put 2-point perspective corner of the room drawings. And now you see, like in this one in particular, it's inverted. Basically, you have 2 perspective points still, but since that's the furthest corner from you now, it's the furthest away from you, the perspective point lines go down the top of the ceiling to the perspective point, from the floor to the perspective point, ceiling, perspective point over here, floor to the perspective point here. It's kind of inverted. You see what I mean? It's like the house, but only opposite, because this is further away from you now. And then you draw windows or or paintings on the wall, the door the same way. All the top of the door and the bottom of the door, top of windows or anything on the wall, go to the perspective points, which are off to the side of the horizon line. Okay? You could also do a 1-point perspective in a room. There's your vanishing point. Everything, ceilings, doors, everything go to that perspective point. The back wall is just flat. So you pick which one. But I'm for the corner of the room. You can do one or the other, 2-point or 1-point. Okay. I say do the 2-point because it's a little harder, but they're both a little hard. But here's all, tons of ideas with that. Big, huge ideas. Come on. Huge ideas. But as you can see, the perspective point is somewhere out here, and then all the floor and everything go over to that one. This side go to the other perspective point. All the table, the sofa, every line goes to there. Vertical lines are just up and down, straight up and down, wherever that is. Okay, so look for the videos. There's 3 assignments to this. The first one was the 1-point perspective, and I was saying you could just draw the cubes, like I was showing you. Like this, but only, you don't have to do that many. 3 or 4 or 5 of them, something like that. Or you could do a whole thing like this, that's fine. Or it could be really simple like this. Okay? Look for both videos and get going on all this and start thinking about your midterm presentation. Over the weekend, you should start masterminding that and get it together. Then next week, you have some time during the week to make it and then send it to me over the weekend. All right? And I'll provide a email on that pretty soon over the weekend. All right? Okay, great.